Welcome to the Explainer. So, think about this for a second. You do something around 20,000 times a day without even really noticing it. But what if I told you that this completely automatic function is actually a manual control panel for your brain and body? Today, we are demystifying the science of breathing, and we're going to see how turning a subconscious habit into an intentional tool can absolutely transform your health. Let's actually do a quick test right now. Put one hand flat on your chest and your other hand flat on your belly. Now just take a normal breath. If only your chest is moving up and down, well, you might be accidentally triggering your body's panic mode right this second. Don't worry, you're definitely not alone in this, but it is absolutely something we can fix. Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to look at the power of breath, hacking the vagus nerve, building your daily breathing toolkit, the science of viral trends, and finally, whether breathwork is actually always safe. All right, let's jump right into section 1, the power of breath, unlocking your hidden control panel. It's honestly fascinating how the way you breathe is hardwired directly into your nervous system. We talk about these two states all the time, right? Shallow, fast chest breathing, that's basically hitting the panic button. It locks you right into the sympathetic nervous system, that stressful fight or flight mode. But by shifting to deep belly breathing and actually letting that dome-shaped diaphragm muscle do the heavy lifting, you literally flip the biological switch over to your parasympathetic nervous system. That's your rest and digest mode. Even the Mayo Clinic backs this up, pointing out that belly breathing promotes a profound sense of calm relaxation. And this is a huge deal because being stuck in that shallow chest breathing loop doesn't just feel bad, it can actually cause physical harm over time. We're talking tension headaches, anxiety, shortness of breath, and even chronic coughs. So intentional diaphragmatic breathing isn't just some trendy wellness buzzword, it's a free, highly effective, medically backed antidote to modern stress.
Moving right along to section 2, hacking the vagus nerve, the information superhighway of the body.
Okay, so to really get why deep breathing is basically magic, you've got to meet the vagus nerve. Think of this as a massive cable extending all the way from your brainstem right down into your gut. It is the absolute main pathway for that calming parasympathetic nervous system we just talked about. And here is the secret. Because this nerve travels directly through your diaphragm, every single deep belly breath you take physically massages and stimulates it. It's like an internal massage for your nervous system. It's kind of wild how connected everything is inside us. Research out of Cedars-Sinai shows you can actually stimulate this nerve through deep belly breathing, short-term cold water exposure, gentle massage on the neck or feet, and remarkably, even by experiencing a sense of awe, like out in nature or listening to incredible music. Activating the vagus nerve through these methods literally puts the brakes on inflammation in your body and lowers your blood pressure. Let's get practical. Section 3, your daily breathing toolkit. Actionable techniques for daily calm. First up in the toolkit is box breathing. It gets its name because of its 4 equal parts. You just inhale for 4 seconds, hold that breath for 4, exhale slowly for 4, and then hold empty for 4. It creates this beautifully balanced rhythm. If you're ever feeling completely overwhelmed at work or you just need to recenter your focus fast, visualizing a square while doing this equal part breathing is incredibly effective for immediately dropping your stress levels. Now, if you want a slightly more advanced approach, especially if you're dealing with serious anxiety or you're tossing and turning trying to fall asleep, you've got to try the 4-7-8 technique. You inhale for 4, hold for a surprisingly long 7 seconds, and then exhale super slowly through pursed lips for 8 seconds. That extended exhale on breath retention, it forces your brain to focus entirely on counting, which completely breaks the loop of anxious thoughts while deeply triggering that rest and digest response. So you might be wondering, how long does it actually take for this stuff to make a lasting difference? Well, according to data published in PubMed, the magic number is 4. In a controlled trial, it took exactly 4 weeks of combining wearable heart rate variability biofeedback devices with resonance breathing to see a really significant decrease in participants' baseline breathing rates, plus a boost in cardiovascular health indicators. So yeah, consistency is absolutely key here. Time for section 4, science of viral trends. Fact or fad? Okay, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, mouth taping. You've definitely seen the influencers claiming that taping your lips shut at night fixes everything from snoring to giving you a better jawline. Now, looking at the actual data from CU Anschutz and UB, there are potential benefits for healthy individuals. It does encourage nasal breathing, which filters and humidifies the air, and it can help with dry mouth. But, and this is a big but, the dangerous risk here is that if you happen to have undiagnosed sleep apnea or nasal blockages, taping your mouth can critically restrict your airflow. that dangerously drops your oxygen levels and puts immense strain on your heart. So definitely not a universal miracle cure. Then there's the massive trend of the Wim Hof method, which all boils down to this really cool biological concept called hormesis. Basically, hormesis is a beneficial short-term stress that literally forces your body to adapt and strengthen. In Wim Hof breathing, practitioners use deliberate hyperventilation followed by breath holding. This intentionally creates temporary hypoxia, which is just a fancy way of saying a shortage of oxygen. And this tricks the body into a sympathetic stress response that ultimately builds serious cellular resilience. And guys, the clinical results here are absolutely mind-blowing. In a landmark 2014 study, Wim Hof practitioners literally had a toxin injected into them. Sounds crazy, right? But by using this specific breathing method, they were able to voluntarily control their autonomic immune response. They effectively increased their anti-inflammatory mediators by roughly 200% while decreasing pro-inflammatory markers by 50%. It proves that yes, your breath can actively alter your blood chemistry. Which brings us to Section 5. Is breathwork always safe? The safety guardrails. Look, general, slow belly breathing is pretty much safe for everyone. But institutions like Northwestern Medicine and other SHIP are very clear about this. Forceful, hyperventilation-style breathing is a hard no for certain groups. You absolutely must consult a doctor first if you have cardiovascular issues, severe respiratory disorders, a history of aneurysms or seizures, severe mental illness, or if you're pregnant, since holding your breath can actually restrict oxygen flow to the baby. So, the absolutely crucial takeaway here: listen to your body. Breathwork is a serious tool. If you're doing an exercise and suddenly feel chest pain, clouded vision, ringing in your ears, or severe tingling in your hands or feet, you are hyperventilating too much. You need to stop the exercise immediately and just return to a normal, relaxed, slow breathing pattern so you can restore your oxygen balance. We've covered a ton of ground today, all the way from the calming internal massage of the vagus nerve to the intense biology of hormesis. Like we said at the start, you take about 20,000 breaths every single day. Think about that. That's 20,000 chances to lower your stress, reduce inflammation, and actively hack your own biology. The power to completely change how you feel is quite literally right under your nose. So, are you going to keep running on autopilot, or are you ready to take the controls?